Hey, Coach Colin Castelli here, and welcome to another episode of the Ask Coach C series. Today we got a great show for you. We got 4 topics that we're going to talk about. Number 1, we're going to talk about how to get your coach to let you play the guard position. We're going to talk about why I suck. We're going to talk about how to get you exposure, and we're also going to talk about why some people are better at shooting off of a step back. Now, before we get started, I want to talk about a really cool way you can connect with me that I just figured out. So there's a new app that just came out called UpMyGame. They don't have very many users right now, but it's really cool because it's a service where you can kind of send videos back and forth and then do athletic reviews on the video. So it's perfect for me because I can do shot analysis on there. And so like right now I've been doing the shot analysis stuff on Instagram most of the time. It's kind of hard because videos can only be 15 seconds. I can't get a great look at it. And it's kind of a clunky way to do it. But UpMyGame's pretty sweet because it's very Instagram-like in that you can follow people and send videos to each other and that sort of thing. But instead they can be longer, and it's got these really cool annotations so I can, add angles on your shot and all that sort of stuff. I can record voiceovers so you can hear me talking as you're shooting. I can slow things down in slow motion. It's a really cool app. I'm interested in trying to maybe build a little bit of a following on there. That way I can do a lot more shot analysis for you guys out there. So because of that, I'm going to do a little free giveaway sort of thing, where if you download the UpMyGame app, and the link's in the description down here, if you download the app and follow me and send me some videos of your shooting, I will do as many shot analyses for free as I can until the end of the year, so until January 1st. So jump on it really quick, just upload some videos of you shooting, send them over to me, and I can really easy get a shot analysis to you pretty quick. Alright, so first question comes from MJ Gaming, and they want to know how they can get their coach to let them play the guard position, because they're probably not going to be very tall when they're older. First off, absolutely love this question. This is something that's super important for your own personal development because there's nothing worse than being a short post by the time you get to the high school varsity. There's going to be no chance of going to college after that. So, number 1, you got to prove it. Most of the time, coaches are only concerned with winning right now. Now, that's not necessarily the best thing, but it's a reality of the situation. So most of the time, an 8th grade coach, they're only really caring about winning. So they're going to do whatever it is to win. And if that means that you have to be in the post, they're going to put you in the post. Now, the problem with that is that's maybe not the best for your development. So you need to make sure that you start working on it and improving it in your own skill workouts. Generally, if you don't have the skills, they're not going to put you in the position no matter what. So you got to make sure that you have the skills so you got something to show. Now, most of the time, when you're working on your game, the skills that the guards have need to be able to transfer over. I've found that probably for players to get into that guard situation, if they're post, generally the easiest way to do it is during a blowout game, either when you're up by a lot or down by a lot. Simply ask the coach, hey, I'd love to try playing the guard, playing the guard position. The game's already kind of out of reach. Is there any way we can give it a shot maybe for a quarter or two? Now, since you've been working on your guard skills, you should be able to play it pretty well. Now, once you show the coach that, hey, putting me at the guard position will get you more W's, now they're going to be kind of more interested in putting you there. So generally, it's just a way that you got to be able to get that door open a crack and then kick it in once you have the opportunity. Remember, little by little, if you prove it's good for the team to win, the coach will probably put you there. Next one, MAT Basketball says, oh my God, you suck, Colin. Stop the new segments. You're doing great before and make a new video. And apparently, I think he's yelling at me. All right, so this comment made me laugh. And I don't know if your keyboard's broken and the caps locks is stuck on, or if you're just super, super passionate about it. But obviously, you must not be a serious player. Just because most of the serious players are going to really enjoy things like this video because it's going to get them better. So I'm guessing that probably while you're riding the pine, your friends are going to be out on the court seeing the success. So, I'm all right with criticism, but just try to make it constructive. Nobody likes things like you're stupid, you're gay, you're retarded, this is stupid. Like, if you can give some constructive criticism, generally people will like it. When you leave comments or say things like that to somebody, it's almost like flipping somebody off in traffic, right? Somebody cuts you off and you're mad, so you flip them off. That doesn't do any good. How many times throughout history has somebody flipped somebody off in traffic and the person who got flipped off went, you want to know what? They're right. I got to do a little soul searching. That was a jerk move on my part. Let me apologize. No, that's not what happens. That's how road rage happens. I saw a news story just the other day where a guy flipped off another guy in traffic and they got out of the car and shot him. Like, seriously, no good comes of something like this. When I see a comment like that, it makes me think, well, this kid's a dick. I'm not going to do anything about it, right? So, try to be constructive with your criticism in the future, and that will help you a long ways and probably get the things that you want in life. Okay, but long story short, I'm not mad because, haters gonna hate. All right, next, Alex Ing asks, I only make shots when I do a step back, and when I try to shoot without doing a step back, I rim the shot out. I need help improving. Now, I picked this question because it's super interesting, and I think it goes back to the sweep and sway. Now, a lot of you guys have probably heard of the sweep and sway from Coach Paul Hoover and the Pro Shot shooting system. If you haven't heard of them, check them out. Just YouTube Pro Shot, and all their videos will pop right up. And he talks about the sweep and sway as when you're shooting, you want to have your shoulders fall backwards just a little bit, and your feet kick forward. Now, the reason for this is, number one, it relaxes the tension in your shoulders. Number two, it gives you a better arc on the basketball. Now, what I think's interesting about this question is because when you're shooting a step back, it's naturally making your body go into a sweep and sway. Thus why you probably shoot a higher percentage. So what I would do is I would try to implement the sweep and sway into your normal jumper. That way you're kind of getting that consistent arc and that consistent tension release in your shoulders. It's funny because when I was in college, I got the nickname step back, just because I could hit a lot of step backs. And I found that I was actually a better shooter shooting step backs than just a regular catch and shoot shooter. So I did the same thing. I implemented the sweep and sway into my normal catch and shoot jumper, and what do you know? We're lights out. All right, and KB Titan 24 wants to know, hey coach, how do you get scouts to look at you? All right, great question that I know a lot of you guys out there are curious about. And this is what it's all about, is trying to get to that next level, right? Trying to get as far as you possibly can in your basketball career. So number one, you got to produce, right? Scouts are going to be interested in seeing somebody who doesn't have game, just because their end game is winning games. So if you've got some skill, they're going to look at you automatically. So now with that being said, there's a few different ways that you can get a little bit more exposure. There's camps, there's clinics, there's exposure clinics, there's invite-only clinics. If you can get to any of those invite-only ones, that's a huge one. But a lot of it is you have to put yourself out there. A lot of young athletes just kind of assume, well, I've got pretty good game, some coaches will find me. That's not necessarily the case. You have to go out and do some promotion yourself. Now, there's a few different ways you can do it. Personally, my favorite way is to try to email coaches directly. So out of high school, I wasn't heavily recruited. I didn't have great stats in high school because I was a pass-first point guard. And so I went out and I found as many coaches' emails as I could, and I started emailing out game film, footage, all that sort of stuff. Really kind of marketed myself. Now, because of that, I got about 25 college tryouts, and so I traveled all around the Northwest trying out at all these different colleges. And the absolute key to getting a tryout with these teams is not to contact the head coach, because head coaches are super busy all the time. They're slammed with their schedules. You want to contact the assistant coaches. Generally, they're the ones who are kind of more in charge of recruiting anyways. And so those are the guys that you want to get in contact with, and they're not as busy. So what I would do is I would probably research the general colleges you want to go to. Number one, you got to be realistic with your skill. If you're not a D1 player, the D1 guys won't call you back. So, think about, are you NAIA? Are you, a community college? Are you, a D3? Whatever it is that you think that your skill is at, or your kind of your peak skill, those are the guys you want to contact, because if you try to contact Roy Williams at UNC, but you're averaging, 4 points a game in high school, you're not getting a call back, right? So, number one, you can try to find those assistant coaches. That's probably the best way to do it. So you can do it through email. That's a great way to do it. Generally, on most athletic websites for schools, they'll have the emails listed for the assistant coaches, but not the head coaches, so that's a good reason to use it. Another great way to do it is now in this world of social media. 9 times out of 10, assistant coaches are now going to have, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, something like that. If you can start connecting with them through social media, that's a great way for them to start to see your stuff. Now, there's services that are popping up that are pretty cool. There's a free one I know. I talked to a guy a while back called prolater.com, so prolater.com, link in the description. And it's pretty cool because you can set up like an athlete bio. It almost looks like an Instagram page, but you can put photos, you can put stats, you can put your position, you can put videos, you can even just link to videos that are on, I think, different social media and YouTube and that sort of stuff. And Prolater is pretty cool. I got a page on there. I've been messing around with it a little bit just to see if it's something that you guys would like. And so you can check that out, and it's really easy because it's almost like a resume, if you will. So you can just send that straight to a coach, say, hey, check out my check out my athletic resume. They look through it, they can see highlights, clips, games, all that sort of stuff, and it's all in one streamlined format that looks really, really cool. So check ProLoader out. That'll probably help you a little bit. All right, thank you for watching this episode of the Ask Coach C Series. Don't forget, if you want a question answered, leave it in the comment section down below on this video, and hopefully I'll get to it on the next video. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Splash on.